Good morning all. So today we are going to discuss the simulation part, which is the second part of your ADC lab. So for which I have prepared few slides, and step by step we are going to discuss that how we are going to analyze all these things. So the first experiment which we are going to discuss today is the to simulate NRZ, RZ, half sinusoid and raised cosine pulse and generate the eye diagram for the binary polar signal. Now the question is why we are going for this NRZ, RZ and all this thing. Basically this NRZ, RZ, these all are the representation, or you can say it is called as a different format for the line codes. Now line codes we have studied that there are different sort of formats are there, like polar format is there, unipolar is there and bipolar is also there. But polar and unipolar can be represented in either NRZ form or RZ form. Apart from which the half sinusoid and the raised cosine pulses are also there. And we are going to analyze all these things step by step, and then with the help of these pulses we can generate the, or we can analyze the eye diagram. The eye diagram is basically used to determine the intersymbol interference between the symbols when we are receiving at the receiver end. Okay, so this eye diagram plays a vital role while detecting the proper symbols. If the symbols get overlapped with each other, then your intersymbol interference will be more. So how to analyze it? So intersymbol interference is analyzed only with respect to the eye diagram. So if the opening of the eye is more, that means we can say the effect of error is less. But when the effect of error is more, the opening of eye will be less. That we will see while discussing the eye diagram. So I have divided all this thing into three parts. First we are going to analyze the line codes, then we will go analyze the half sinusoid and the raised cosine pulse, and then we will go for the generation of eye pattern. Okay, so let me start with a short introduction about the line code and ISI. So today's class we are going to discuss about the concept behind the line codes, discuss with respect to the logics, what are the logics behind it, how we will construct the program, and last we will execute the program. And we can execute this program with the help of the online MATLAB tool. You can log in. I will show how to log in and all, and we will see the programs were running very perfectly, and the outputs are also very clearly it is showing. Okay, so as you can see, the line coding and ISI is the main topic, or the this is the background of our today's discussion or today's experiment. Is first is the line code. As you can see, the line codes are basically used to represent the voltage or current or photon used for the digital transmission. Okay, in a transmission line or any particular medium. And these line codes are basically used to transmit for a short distance communication. Okay, and in order to discriminate, or in order to identify whether my binary bits we have received correctly or not, or any overlap is there or some delay is there, how we are going to measure it is only with respect to the ISI. That is called intersymbol interference when the pulse spread out. Okay, and interfere with the adjacent pulse, means they will overlap with the adjacent pulses, then we can say it is called intersymbol interference, and it is only due to the effect of noise. If the effect of noise is more, that means intersymbol interference will be high, and if the effect of noise is less, intersymbol interference will be less, and it is identified with respect to a eye pattern. If the opening of eye is more, that means effect of error is less. If the effect of opening of eye is less, effect of error is more, vice versa. Okay, so we'll start with this introduction. So as you can see in the screen that we have the binary data, and then we are providing the binary data to the line coding format, and then we are representing either in terms of binary, either in terms of NRZ form, return to Z form, either in polar form, unipolar form or bipolar form. You can see there are line codes are basically represented with three factors, that is either with polar, unipolar or bipolar. These are the line codes. and binary data are nothing but a pulse, and line coding is a pair of pulses represent the binary symbol 1 and 0. And what is the property behind this line coding? Transmission bandwidth, because the frequency component will come into picture, means bandwidth will be there, efficiency will be there, power efficiency, and extract timing for the pulses, that is adequate time content, and most important thing, transparency for a long string of binary data 1 and 0. So first we are going to discuss about the unipolar signaling, and this unipolar can be represented either of the term in terms of return to Z or non-return to Z. So here you can see in the screen that unipolar signaling. Okay, unipolar signaling, in the figure you can see first it is a clock we have given, then our data stream is there. So unipolar non-return to Z means it will cover one complete cycle. For binary data 1, binary data 1 it is 1, and for binary data 0, so your data is represented in terms of unipolar NRZ. So you can see unipolar NRZ can also be called as OOK, on off keying switch. So pulse 0 is the absence of pulse, pulse 1 is the presence of pulse, and there are two common formats are there, one is NRZ form, one is return to Z. So here we are going to discuss about NRZ. So NRZ means in this unipolar signaling, high in data is represented with positive pulse, low is represented with a negative, with a zero pulse, means zero pulse is represented with a zero potential. So that means it is not coming to the negative potential, it is end up with a zero potential only. So it is only having unipolar, only one polarity will be there. So variation will be 0 to here if I will say 1 minute. So if I will assign here, it is a positive potential like this. So here data is lower potential is 0, and the potential is available is plus V. So it is a unipolar, only one polarity will be there, and it is for 1 it is high, for 0 it is 0, again it is 1 is 1, and then 0, and then 1 1. So that means it is a unipolar. So a low in data input has no pulses. Okay, so these are the basic representation through which we can understand the representation of the polar form. Then okay, so this is the representation for the NRZ. Next we are going to discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of this NRZ form. So advantage is the simple to represent, and second one does not require a lot of bandwidth for the transmission. Okay, these are the two important advantage of your unipolar signaling. And next, what is the disadvantage? Here error correction is, no error correction is done, because it is a lot of bandwidth is used, so doesn't require a lot of bandwidth, means it can be transmitted for a short distance with a less amount of frequency component. So no error correction done. Presence of low frequency component, as I have told, then no clock is present, and loss of synchronization is likely to occur, because synchronization is very delicate to identify. So loss of synchronization is likely to occur here. And next is our unipolar signaling with respect to return to Z. So here you can see unipolar signaling means here it will take the time period half t by 2. In previous case you can see the data when we are transmitting for binary bit 1, it is one complete cycle it is taking. One complete means pulse, one complete pulse means this is time period t. Okay, so if I will represent this one, this time period is, let us consider as t. Okay, so this is time period t. So for time period t, binary bit is 1, for time period t, binary bit is 0, and unipolar is also taking the same time period for binary bit 1 and for binary bit 0. But in NRZ what happens, in return to Z what happens, it will take only the half of the cycle t by 2. So your function will become from 0 to t by 2. So here it is 1 minute. So it is 0 to t by 2. So time period will be 0 to t by 2. So whenever there is a binary bit 1, it will consider the potential 0 to v, and for a time period t by 2, and rest of the time period t by 2 will become as a 0. Similarly, for 0 it is 0, and for again it is 1, means again for half time period it is represented, and again it is 0 for 0, and then whenever 1 is encountered, half of the time period will have a potential and half of the time period will have 0. So here you can see in this type of unipolar signaling, a high in beta through the represented by a mark pulse for a time duration t0, which is less than the symbol bit period. Okay, and half of the bit remain as a 0, immediate 0 if it is binary. 1 is encountered and 0 for 0 is encountered. And the advantage, it is similar to the previous one. It is simplicity for representation, presence of a spectral line of a symbol rate which can be used for symbol time clock signals. And disadvantage is no correction. It is similar to the return to Z, and it occupies twice the bandwidth of unipolar NRZ. Here it will, time period is reducing by t by 2, so that means frequency will be doubled, because we know that frequency is inversely proportional to time period. So in RZ the time period is t, so your frequency is 1 by f, but in return to Z, here the time period is t by 2, so your frequency is going to be double, so it occupies the bandwidth. Okay, it occupies the bandwidth double than that of a unipolar NRZ. Okay, so this is the disadvantage. If we need to transmit our signal with the less utilization of bandwidth. If the bandwidth utilization is more, that means efficiency will reduce. Okay, so this is about unipolar signaling. Next we will discuss about the polar signaling. Now polar means, here the two polarity we have to consider. One is positive V, one is minus V, and that too with respect to return to Z and non-return to Z. So here you can see that when the data is 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 and 0 is identified, here polar NRZ will have the two polarity. Polar means two polarity will be identified as plus V and minus V. So it is similar to the non-return to Z, but here it will take the total potential from minus V to plus V, but in unipolar it will have a 0 to plus V only. Okay, so that is the difference. So here you can see in polar Z, a binary bit 1 is represented with a pulse G of t. This is the pulse, and when binary bit is 0, then potential is 0. So here you can see it is 0. So G0 of t is equals to minus G1 of t. Done. So, and what is the advantage? It is simple, and no low frequency components are present. And disadvantage is what? Again same, no error correction, no clock is present, and the single drop is caused place where the signal non-zero is 0 Hz. So this is the basic representation of polar NRZ. Similarly, we have polar RZ. So in polar RZ, what happens? Half of the time period will be high, half of the time period will be low for binary bit 1, and when it is binary bit 0 is encountered, it is just reverse of the binary bit 1. So minus t by 2, first it will have a negative pulse, then rest of the half time period it will have the positive pulse. Here you can see. So binary bit 1 have the pulse G1 of t, but binary bit 0 is the opposite of this one. So if it is binary bit 1, here you can see that half of the time period t by 2 the positive potential is available, and rest of the part is available with negative potential. Similarly, when binary bit 0 is identified, so first the negative potential is available for half cycle, and then for rest of the half cycle it is positive potential. So like this you have to analyze all these formats, and then according to this format you have to construct the programs. Okay. Similarly, here it is also having some sort of advantages. It is simple, no low frequency components are present. Disadvantage, it is quite similar to the rest of the formats. No error correction, no clock is present, occupy twice the bandwidth of NRZ. Yes, because here the time period is reduces. If the time period reduces, frequency component will increase. So double the frequency with respect to polar RZ, NRZ. Here it is double frequency is used, so bandwidth will increase, occupy twice the bandwidth of polar NRZ. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the execution of program. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. So you can see that now we are going to discuss about the logics, how to execute the program. Now remember that when we are going to discuss about this polar RZ, polar NRZ, half sinusoid and cosine signal, I am going to discuss, because with the help of this polar RZ, NRZ and all these things, we are going to construct the program for the eye diagram. Okay, for that purpose I am discussing about the polar RZ. You can go for the unipolar RZ, unipolar NRZ, but for the time being I will discuss with respect to the polar form, because with the help of this polar representation, because it will represent both the positive as well as negative polarity of a particular signal. Okay, and represented in a different format, either in negative Z format or NRZ format, and then we will go for the half sinusoid and the raised cosine pulses. With the help of these pulses, our eye diagram will be identified. Okay, so step by step we will see. So first let me discuss about this polar NRZ. Now polar NRZ, in the previous slide I will show the figure so that people can understand. Here you can see when the data is 1, it will take complete time period. Okay, and what is the potential? Minus V2 plus V, minus V2 plus V. So total potential is varied from minus V2 plus V with polarity of 1. So that means when it is binary bit 1 is encountered, that means it will flow from minus V2 plus V like this. When binary bit 0 means it is 0, and you can see this is the reference line. Okay, so here it will be a reference line. Let me draw that reference line. So from 0, this is the reference line. Okay, so above this reference line it is positive, below this reference line is negative. So when it is binary bit 1, again it is high. When it is binary bit 0, it is 0. When it is 1, it is high. When it is 0, is 0. So that means we need to identify the position first. We need to identify the binary data. So in order to identify the binary data, suppose if I am feeding the sequence as 1 0 1 0 1 1 0, then 1, then 0, then 0, then 1, then 1, the 1. If I will give the input, we will identify the number of position first. How many number of binary bits we are entering? According to the number of binary bits, the positions were identified, and with that position the polarity will be assigned. So we need some loops, because this iteration will be come into picture, because you have to assign the potential when binary bit 1 is encountered, you have to assign potential 0 when 0 is encountered. So like that you have to provide. So here you can see when the binary bit is 1, we have the positive V. When the binary bit is 0, we have negative V. Again binary bit 1, positive V, binary bit 0, negative V. Again it is binary bit 1, positive potential is available. So this is with respect to polar NRZ. If it is polar RZ, half of the time period will be positive, half of the time period will be negative. And for binary bit 0, it is just reverse of the binary bit 1. So this thing you have to keep in mind, and then you have to proceed. So for that, the logic is first, this is the first part. Okay, so in first part what you have to do, you have to initialize the sequence. So first of all, you have to ask what is your input, how many number of input sequence you are going to do. Either the binary bits are 4, binary bits are 5, binary bits are 6, how many number of binary bits are there. So you have to give an input sequence. Here I have written, it is called input enter the binary sequence. So when you execute this particular sequence, it will ask enter your input data. So you have to provide the binary symbols 1 0 1 0 0 0 like that. So then next you have to put a counter. So n is equals to 1. So L is equals to length of h, because number of binary bits you have identified. So you have to assign the polarity to that. So you need to identify the length of that particular binary, whether it is 8 number of bit or 9 number of bit or 7 number of bit or 6 number of bit. Depend upon the number of bits your assignment will be done. Okay, and then h of L plus 1 is equals to 1. So this is one more counter we are providing to our initialization. So this first part is used for the initialization. Sequence of h is to be identified, and how to identify the length. The length will be identified with respect to the uh, length is identified with respect to the input binary data. Okay, so this is the initialization part. Second, we need to assign those initialization with the binary data. Binary data 1 will be initialized with what potential. If binary data is 0 is identified, then what potential. Then how to increase the, how to identify the positions. Okay, for that you have to use this while command. So while n is less than equals to length of h minus 1. So if your number of inputs we have set as n equals to 1, if 1 is less than equals to length of h minus 1, then till that much your loop will continue. So if you substitute n is equals to 1 here, and suppose if I am giving 5 data, length of this h is 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4, so 1 is less than 4. So till then the loop will continue, because it should not exceed this particular value. So 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So total 5 positions are identified. So according to that you have to assign. And now representing this time period. So for time period also we have to assign some time period, that is n minus 1. You can see here I have substituted t is equals to n minus 1 0.0001 is to n. So this you can put as some iterations also you can give, but your length will be n minus 1 to n, or you can put n to n plus 1, whatever it is. Okay, then you have to check, you have to assign the values. If your h of n value is 0, then what will happen? H of n value means h is the input data, n is the position. If it is exactly equals to 0, then h of n plus n is 0, and y of t minus t less than n minus t exactly equals to n. Here we are assigning the polarity for the 0 position, as well as if it is polarity is identified with respect to 0, then what polarity we are going to assign, whether it is minus or it is plus. Since now it is NRZ, we are going to assign the negative potential. So here I have written y is equals to minus of t less than n minus t exactly equals to n. Else y is equals to minus t less than n plus t exactly equals to n, and end this particular if condition and display the 0. So here we are identifying for the 0 component. If 0 is identified, that means the polarity will be negative. So when the polarity will be negative, if the position is h of n is equals to 0. So if h of n plus 1 is exactly equals to 0, then next you have to assign the position. Okay, so you have to assign the position with respect to both the side, plus and minus side. So if it is this, you have to assign the negative potential. If it is in upper part, you have to assign with respect to positive potential, and then you have to end it, and you have to display the 0, because here we are discussing about 0 component. Then else if it is h of n equals to 1, for one position what will happen? Similarly same thing. So if h of n plus 1 is exactly equals to 0, so t of t less than n minus 1 into t exactly equals to 1. So here we are going to assign the positive polarity. So positive polarity means if it is binary bit 1, you have to assign plus v. If it is binary bit 0, you have to assign minus v for that. Similarly here it is multiplied with minus 1. So if it is less, means it is in lower part, So it is minus 1, and if it is in upper part you can assign with respect to plus 1, and t exactly equals to 1, and then you can display 1, and you have to end this particular sequence. Now once this sequence is done, next is you have to display all these values. You have to display all this value in a certain format. So how to identify it? So next you have to plot it. Okay, so you have to plot this particular function with respect to t and y. So t is the time period and y is the amplitude you can consider. If you are substituting grid on, the resultant will be in a grid form, and you have to put a title for that particular graph. It is a line code nrz, and you have to set the d line width 2.5. It is a command with which the line of the width is identified at a space of 2.5. We will see all these things, and then you can hold on. Hold on means it will stuck to a certain point. And the axis also you can define. Axis varies from minus 1.5 to 1.5 with a variation of minus 1, 0 to length of h minus 1. So length is suppose 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4, so 0 to 4. Okay, and 0 to 4 means it is divided with a minus 1.5 to plus 1.5. Okay, and in order to increase this iteration, counter what we have said is n equals to 1. You have to put n equals to n plus 1 to change the position, and then you have to end it. So if you execute this whole program, then we are going to identify the polar NRZ. Okay, so it is a very simple program. First you have to initialize the input sequence, you have to identify the length of the input sequence, then you have to go for the assignment of the binary bit 1 and 0, for which this while and the if else loop is identified. One if is identified with respect to 0, and one with respect to identified with respect to 1, and after that you have to plot the signals. Okay, here you have to plot the signals, and then you have to assign that plot with some title. You have to fix the width, and you can assign the axis of that particular figure. Okay, and for the number of positions you can put a counter as n is equals to n plus 1, and you can enter. Okay, so this program I'm going to execute. 1 minute. This program I am going to execute through online mode. Let me open it so that you people can also take the advantage of that online MATLAB tool. Online MATLAB compiler. So first you have to log into this MATLAB online. You have to start using MATLAB online. Since I have created my account, first you have to create the account. You have to get the verifications and all. I have already created the account, so it will directly take to my portal. It will take some time. Okay. So it has opened. I have already logged into this. So this portal will come, and for the purpose I have already executed few programs. So how to start this? Here you can see. Let me close all this program first, which I have executed. So one by one we will see. So here you can see new add script. Okay, so when you are clicking on this new and script, it will allow to an interface called editor window. Okay, in this editor window we are going to type all those programs. So first we are going to discuss about the polar NRZ. Okay, so this polar NRZ we are going to discuss first. So let me discuss about polar NRZ. So this is my polar NRZ. I have already typed these equations. So let me redo once again for you to fill. explained you people, you just type in your command window, sorry, editor window. Once it is done, you have to save it. Okay, save with your name. So let this name be mysd polar nrz.m. Okay, so in this file I have saved. So now the file has been saved. Okay, now already I have debugged it and I have executed. So next is how to execute it. So here you can see, first you have to save this particular file. Once it is saved, go for the run window. So it will take few minutes to execute. So enter the bit sequence it is asking, because we have given x is equals to input enter bit sequence. So according to our bit sequence, it will generate the outputs. So first is 1, then 0, then 1, then 0, then 0, then 1, and close the braces. So if I am substituting, my answer is 1, 0, or 1, 1. Okay. 1 minute. Let me run once again. So here you can see 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, and close it. Now if you enter it according to the given inputs, it will show your polar nrz form. So here you can see my potential I have assigned with -1 to 1. Okay, so first one is 1, so for 1 it is 1, then it is 0, negative pulse, then it is 1, positive, then it is 0, it is 0, and for 1 1 it is having the higher polarity, and this one is 0. So this is a particular figure which is generated with the help of this particular program, and with the help of the assignment with respect to binary bit 1 and binary bit 0. So display 0, so it is display 0, and when it is display 1, you have to display 1, and according to that we have plotted it. Since if I will remove this grid on, 1 minute, let me save once again and let me run once again. So you will see the changes: 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is the sequence. So if this is the sequence, then you can see the figure. Grid on means there will be no grids, it will be simple graph. 1 minute, see, there is no grids, it is a simple graph. First it is 1, then 0, then 1, 1, then 0, then 1, then 0, and 1. So this is the simple program which I have executed for the polar nrz with the title. Similarly, here I can add as x label, x-axis label. X-axis means that 0 to 8 you can put as a time period. Okay, so it is a time. Then y label del, you can put some amplitude, because it is an amplitude having certain potential. And then okay, this thing, let it be, okay, let it be here. So save it and run once again. So when I am running, it will ask enter the sequence. So it is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, and put an enter, and it will show a small figure. Now here you can see, when I have not used this x label and y label, it was simple, but now I have used x label command, so that the x-axis is the time period and y level is an amplitude. So this is an amplitude. So this is my line code for polar NRZ. So like this you have to execute the programs. Okay, so it is a very simple. First you have to log into the online MathWorks. You have to create a user ID. You have to log in it, and MATLAB and the MathWorks provide the 5 GB cloud data. Whatever the data you are going to create, it will save in your folder for up to 5 GB. Okay, so here you can see all these things you can execute, but the thing is that the limitation is there. Some user functions are not available. You have to construct the whole program with the certain logics like this, but this same program can be executed only in 4 to 5 lines by using the commands, by using some predefined commands, but that command is not available in the free service. It will available in the whole package. If you have installed this MATLAB in your system, then you can execute those programs. Okay, for the simplicity I have constructed this, and this is our line for NRZ. Now what will be the difference with RZ? The difference is half of the time period we have to take. When one is identified, half of the time period will be half, and rest of the half of the period will be negative. Similarly, when binary bit 0 is identified, half of the time period is negative, and rest of the half of the period is positive. Like that you have to construct. Only the difference here in this whole program, here it is t is less than n and t is exactly equals to n. Here n will be multiplied with 0.5. Half of the time period will be there, and rest of the program remain as it is. Okay, so this is the small example or small program for your polar NRZ. You can try this. I will share all this PPT to you so that you can execute this one by yourself. Okay, so let us return back to our own PPT. So this is polar NRZ. Now we will see with respect to polar RZ. So here you can see that n is minus 0.5. There it is t is less than 0.5. Here it is t less than n minus 0.5, because here the half of the time period we have to see. When the binary bit 1 is encountered, half of the time period is positive and half of the time period is negative. Similarly, when binary bit 0 is identified, first half is negative and second half will be positive. So only this much is the changes. So first, this whole thing is same as for your polar NRZ. Here initialization of input sequence, you have to sequence h is an input. Okay, you have to find out the length and then the iterations. Okay, position wise same program, only the difference is n minus 0.5 you have to initialize. That's it. Here also n is n minus 0.5, and here is also minus 0.5, and this is minus 1 for first half, this is plus 1 for the second half, and you have to display 1. Similarly for display 0. So this is the quite same program, only the thing is here you have to substitute n minus 0.5, but in RZ we have not substituted nr. So if I will erase all this thing, erase all links on this slide. So let me erase this. It's not here. So here you can see in NRZ it is t less than n, here it is t less than n, but in RZ it is n minus 0.5. That is the difference. Rest everything is same. Okay, so this is the program. So here you can see only the difference is minus 0.5. Here is the only the difference is minus 0.5, and rest of the program is remain as it is. Only the small changes is minus 0.5, minus 0.5, minus 0.5, minus 0.5. That's it. So it will give you the polar RZ representation. Okay, so let's see. So here same program, I am going to copy it. in another editor window. Okay, the changes are what? The changes are when it is n, here it is minus point 0.5, here it is also minus point 0.5. Okay, here also minus point 0.5, here also minus point 0.5. Okay, anything left? So here minus 0.5 into 1. So rest of the thing remain as it is. Then you have to save it. So here I will save polar rz. Then that is an rz, it is rz. Save it. Once it is saved, go for run. So again it will ask the input binary sequence. So there you have to give the binary sequence. It's upon you 1 1 0. Close the press, square press, and press the enter. So you will get your figure C. So here you can see that for when the binary bit 1 is encountered for one time period, first half is up to t by 2 it is plus and rest t by 2 it is minus. Similarly for 0, first half is minus, second half is plus. Similarly when it is 1, first half is plus, then it is 0. So like this the NRZ return to Z line code is identified. So this is very simple program. If you understand that polar NRZ, only the small changes if you make it, then you can form as a polar RZ form. Okay, so this is the simple example through which you can understand the line codes for polar form. Done. So we have left with one more, that is called half sinusoid. So these are the two parts we have covered. One is polar RZ, polar NRZ. Next is half sinusoid. Half sinusoid means it is a rectified form of a sinusoid signal. So what you have to do, first of all the logic behind is this. Let us consider a sinusoid signal. That sinusoid signal you are providing to a rectifier. If it is a forward bias, only positive half will take as an output, and if it is a reversed bias condition if you are providing in a negative half cycle, so negative half cycle will come. So here first we have to define the sine wave, and then we have to extract the positive part as well as the negative part also. But if you understand how to extract the positive part, it is very easy to extract the negative part also. So here first of all you have to define the time period, because depend upon the time period only you are going to define the numericals with respect to time period. Suppose 0 is to 2.2 is to 2, so 0 to 2 I have 2 as a time period with the iteration of 0.2. Let us consider my signal frequency is 0.5 Hz. You can take 10 Hz, you can take 100 Hz, whatever it is. I have to 0.5. Okay, then I will define the sine wave. So x is equals to sine 2 pi ft. So that is the simple equation, sine omega t. So in place of omega you can put sine 2 pi ft. So 2 into pi into f into t generate the sine wave. Next, if I want to determine the positive part, that means my negative part must be suppressed. So what I will put, I will rectify the sine wave by using the small command, that is x of x less than 0 is equals to 0. That means when the x value comes to the negative half, suppose this is x is in positive half, when x value comes to negative half, I will assign a 0. So if I will assign 0, that means the negative half will be rectified and there is no negative half, only the positive half is available. Okay, so here I have written rectified x of x less than 0 is 0, that means it is for positive half cycle, And if x of x greater than 0 means upper part, if you make it 0, that means only the negative half cycle we are going to extract. And a sine you have to plot between time period and the amplitude. So t is the x-axis and x is the value. So x level is the time period, y level is the amplitude, and axis you can put x limit minus 1 to 1. So x lim means it is called x-axis limit from minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, and title will be as a half sine wave. It is a simple program. Okay, so that program I have already written here. So let me open it first. Okay, so here 1 minute. Okay, so this is the small program which I have discussed now. Time period is 0 is to 0.2 is to 2, f is 0.5, x is equals to 2 pi ft, x of x less than 0, that means we are suppressing the negative part as 0. So that means it is a rectified sine wave. Then you have to plot it, put x level, put y level, identify the axis. X lim means it is called as a limit of the x-axis from minus 1 to plus 1, and you have to put a title. So let me save it, and if I will run it, then it will give only the positive half cycle. Wait a minute, let me delete this first. It is overlapping. So again I am running it. So here you can see that we have rectified the negative half cycle. So how we have rectified? We have assigned 0 to this negative half cycle. When x is negative or x is less than 0, we have assigned 0 to it. Okay. Now here, if I will small change, if I will make x greater than 0, that means the positive half cycle is suppressed and we will have only the negative half cycle. Let me save it and let me run it once again. So you can see that positive half cycle we have suppressed and we have extracted the negative half cycle. But if you want to see both of the half cycle, positive and negative, same thing you have to type it once again. So here I have written, so it is t point 0 to 0.2 is to 2, f is 0.5, x is equals to 2 pi fct. Okay, then x of x less than 0 rectified for positive half cycle, put as a figure 1. As we know that when we are identifying that figure window, the indexing plays a vital role. You divide that figure window into 2 cross 2 matrix form. So you can put subplot 2 is to 2 comma 1 comma 1 plot t comma x. So it will plot the rectified half wave sine wave for the positive. Similarly, put title for that and x level and y level for that and x limit for that. Similarly, once again write the x is equals to sine 2 pi fct, x greater than 0, so you will extract the negative half cycle. So if you put these two commands in the same program and save it, you will get in a figure window 2 figures will be there. So you can see this is the rectified positive half cycle and this is the rectified negative half cycle. It is a simple one. So it is a generation of half wave sine signal, sinusoid signal, through which we can transmit our information, while positive half cycle as well as negative half cycle. Okay, so this is the simple program through which you can understand the working principle of the sinusoid. Then this is the half sinusoid. So next one is our raised cosine pulse. Okay, so it is also a very simple program through which we can execute it. So raised cosine basically used for filtering purpose. Okay, and this raised cosine pulse is basically used to suppress the intersymbol interference or minimize the intersymbol interference while the digital modulations. So it's named as a stem and in fact as a non-zero portion for a frequency spectrum with a roll-off factor. Here B I have written, B is called as a roll-off factor. B basically varies from 0 to 1. So beta will lies between 0 to 1, and it is a raised cosine. Basically it is a combination of a sinc function. Okay. So the function I have written here, due to the ability of minimization of this intersymbol interference, raised cosine pulse is basically used to transmit the pulses, due to which ISI will be very less. Okay. So your function will be, it is sine of pi t 1 minus beta plus 4 beta t cos pi t 1 plus beta divided by pi t 1 minus 4 beta t whole square. So this is the function for the raised cosine pulse. P of t is equals to this much. It is a sinc function. If I will elaborate this one, you can it is having a small derivation, but it is not required. If you understand this only, we have to represent our equation in terms of this function. If you represent it, your sinc function will, your raised cosine pulses will be identified. So here variables are what? Here variables are, one is beta, that is called roll-off factor. So that you have to identify. B is equals to 0.5. You can put 0.25, you can put 0.5, you can put 0, you can put 1, whatever it is. But it must be lies between 0 to 1. Then since this is our pulses are transmitted with a sampling time period, so TS here I have assigned it is a 0.01. You can assign 0.1 also. Number of samples is 2000 I have used. You can put the number of sample as a 200, and the time period for that particular sequence means this time period, this lower part you can see minus 20 TS and minus 1 into TS. Okay, so this is the time period, the variation of the time period is the T axis. This is the function h of t. So here I have written RRC, raised cosine function pulse, that is h of t, and this is the time period t. Now what is our formula? It is sine of pi t 1 minus beta plus 4 beta t cos of pi t 1 plus beta divided by pi t 1 minus 4 beta t whole square. This you have to write simple as a function. So what I have written? Raised cosine function, that is pt, or you can write directly as a pt also, which is equals to sine of pi t, pi into t, and here 1 minus beta is multiplied, so it is a dot multiplication. So it is a dot multiplication of 1 minus beta. Then 4 beta t, so 4 beta t dot multiplication with cos of pi t 1 minus beta. So this 1 minus beta is again dot multiplication, divided by whole divided by pi t 1 minus this. So when we are dividing in MATLAB, it is a dot multiplication, dot division. When we are multiplying, it is a dot multiplication. So here dot division divided by pi t dot multiplication of 1 minus beta t whole square, and then you have to plot this function p of t. That's it. So if you execute this, your raised cosine for pulses will be generated. Now let's see. Here I have already written that equation, raised cosine. So this is the, it will open now. So here you can see the raised cosine. So first is beta. Beta is 0.8 I have considered. You can take 0.5, sampling time period 0.01, number of sample is 2000, t is equals to minus 20 ts and minus 1 into ts, that you can put. Okay, and okay, and here the function, raised cosine function, whatever the equation I have written here. Okay, and plot that particular cosine function, save it and run it. If you run, you can see this is the figure I will generate because it is overlapping. Save it once again and run it. So if you are executing, your raised cosine function is generated here. Now depend upon this 0.5, you can put 0.25 and run it. Some changes will be there. See, so changes are identified. So number of pulses are 2000. Here n is equals to 2000. So at 2000 the maximum value is 1. So this is the raised cosine function through which the inter-symbol interference is very negligible. As you can see, there is only one peak value at one certain point. So if another pulses comes, it won't overlap at this particular point. So that is due to which the inter-symbol interference is very less. Okay. So these are the fundamental programs through which we can go through with a certain logics and all. With the help of this program, you can understand the working principle of raised cosine, polar NRZ, polar RZ. Even you can construct the program for unipolar NRZ, unipolar RZ, and then we can go for the eye diagram. So next class we will discuss about the eye diagram. With the help of this particular function, we are going to analyze the eye pattern in order to identify the inter-symbol interference. If the ISI is very less, means effect of noise is very less. If ISI is more, means effect of noise is more. Okay. Till then, try to execute all this program as I have told. How to log in through your MATLAB, online MATLAB. Try to create an account, just having some verifications and all, verify it, and you click on that online portal. This window will generate, and then you can simply whatever the things you want to perform, you can execute the programs. So these are the fundamental programs through which we can analyze the polar RZ, polar NRZ, half sine wave, and rectified waves with respect to sinusoid signal. In place of sinusoid signal, you can put cos signal also. If I will say here, okay, here, if I will say cos, only this term, okay. So if I am writing cos, then what will happen? Just see. So cosine signal will be generated. So cosine signal that to be rectified manner. See. So upper half is rectified. So here we are getting the negative half cycle. Similarly, if less than, if I will put only positive half cycle will come now. Okay. So running. So it is a positive half cycle. So here I have used for cosine, so I will assign half cosine, then save it and run it. So this is the same thing, but here the title was changed, half cosine wave. So according to that, you have to perform the task and try to execute it. And your task is that you have to execute all these programs in your window. You have to capture all these things, and you have to share in the Google Drive. I will share one Google Drive in which all you people have to execute this recorded video. You have to prepare, and step by step all these 4 programs you have to execute it, and you have to upload in that Google Drive. Okay. So try to execute this, and I will share the PPT through which you people can understand these programs and all. So in a quite easy manner. So step by step. Till then, thank you all, and we will discuss in next class about the eye diagrams. So let me log out from my session. This is sign out. You all. So next class, all these things we are going to see with respect to the eye diagram.